Merab Dvalishvili is primed to remain the UFC Bantamweight champion for all of 2025.
Not an overreaction. No. Because a lot of people looked at Umar Nurmagomedov as the guy. I picked Umar, I'm not going to lie.
He was the biggest challenge. He was the biggest challenge, right?
And listen, look, he did well. He did well. And Merab did what Merab does. He outlasted him. I think what's amazing about Merab is he just stays so calm and composed. I heard John Wood tell DC after the fight that, like, we kind of knew that we'll probably drop the first couple of rounds. He was banking on that. It's a risky game to play, to bank on someone gassing out, but that's exactly what happened. He pushed his pace. He was having fun in there. I thought he won the fight 3-2. Listen, I don't know. Like, Umar for me was the guy because of the grappling that he could match it, and I felt like he had the edge in the striking, which he showed that early. But man, Merab's pace, his cardio, like, much respect to Merab. I just don't. I mean, if Sean O'Malley's next, looking at the landscape, Corey Sandhagen is an incredible fighter, but obviously we know what kind of game plan Merab would implement against him. Figueiredo's got to get back into the win column. Like, there are interesting challenges, but yeah, I don't think it's over.
But we've seen that fight too, though.
We've seen that fight, exactly. So not an overreaction. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he remained champion. That's another guy that I want to see stick to his division. He hasn't mentioned anything about double champ. I really hope he doesn't. That's a guy that can rule over for a while as well. And I think Umar can climb back up to a rematch, which I would think would be one of the more highly anticipated fights. So I mean, I don't think that's an overreaction at all.
Okay, so not an overreaction, we agree. But let me just ask you this question then, just to play a little devil's advocate. If Sean O'Malley is next, is there anything that what did you take away from the first fight that maybe Sean O'Malley could win the rematch? Is there anything that you could take away from that first fight?
No, because a lot of matchups, like, I understand he came in with an injury and he underwent surgery after. I mean, Merab didn't come in healthy. Umar broke his hand in the first round, like, they're fighters, right? Things happen. But Merab on paper does not have the striking edge over anybody from those top guys. Would you give him the striking edge over Corey Sandhagen? No. Davison Figueiredo? No. Piotr Jan? No. None of these guys. Umar? No. So it's like, he's not at an advantage there. That's not how he wins his fight. He's just relentless with his pace. It's his cardio. It's mixing things up. It's his grappling. It's his durability. Outside of O'Malley catching him, which he did hurt him in round 5, but right. Outside of O'Malley catching him, which I wouldn't say is impossible, but, like, the chances of it are just low, is the way I look at it. So yeah, I mean, I think it's still a tough battle for Sean O'Malley. I wouldn't rule him out 100%, but I would definitely put my money on Merab.
Wasn't it wild this past Saturday how the striking disadvantage really showed itself in those first 2 rounds against Umar? Like, it was pretty evident, and you saw the damage on his face too. I mean, it showed. The fact that he overcame that was just incredible.
Merab gets rocked, like, he got rocked by Cejudo, he got rocked by Marlon Moraes. This is literally typical Merab fight. And everyone talked about how emotional Merab was leading up to him. My guys, Merab is emotional before every single fight. It doesn't matter. Like, it does not.
Well, but there was a lot of extra. But there was a lot of, like, extra disrespect going into this fight. That was a really big thing. Like, he went into the cage with a big chip on his shoulder. I understood it, like, the disrespect coming from Umar, but the disrespect coming from the betting public in general. He was the underdog, from fans in general who thought Umar was going to be crowned. I mean, we've had people on the show who thought Umar was going to win this fight pretty easily. Like, there was a lot of disrespect. I understood why he had that chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, but like, once the cage door closes, it's never impacted him. Like, or if anything, it impacts him in a good way. But he's always angry, isn't he? Like, he's every lead up to every fight, he has a problem with something. So that's just who Merab is. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and we can't deny that he performs every single time.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Merab. Hell of a victory, and we'll see what comes from him next. But yeah, I think he gets through this year, and we're still talking about Merab being the champ at the end of the year. Is it 2 defenses? It's 3 defenses. We'll see, but I think we're talking about him as the champ at the end of the year. He may be fighter of the year consideration by the time we get to the end of 2025.
MMA Junkie AI.